Hi, I was recently asked two very good questions, and because they're related, I wanted to cover them on one video. So one question that I was asked is, what is the difference in a journal and a ledger? And the other question I was asked was, how do you know what to put in the post-ref column when journalizing? So these are very related. And first of all, I want to tell you that one reason why this is complicated for new accounting students is that we have so many different words for the same thing. So when you're looking at a journal, some people call this a general journal, some people just call it the journal, or some people say where you journalize. But all of those mean the same thing. So let me create one of those first. So we're going to say this is a journal, and it starts with the date, the account, the post-ref column, the debit, and the credit. And so it should say journal at the top so that you know that it's a journal. And let's see. What the journal is actually your transactions. You will put your transactions in here. So for example, on January 1, we buy a truck, we pay cash for it. So we bought a truck for $100,000, we paid cash for it. So that's what you did. That's a transaction. Then we take that journal entry and we post it to the account. Here's where it gets confusing again. We have lots of different words for an account. We may call it a ledger, a general ledger, an account ledger, or just an account. But all those mean that we took it to an account. Now, to make matters even more confusing for new accounting students, we can either call these accounts a T account or a ledger account. But regardless, in this case, we're talking about two different accounts. So I can either post it to an account that looks like a T, or I can post it to an account that looks like a ledger. They are the same things, just a different way of looking at them. So let's go ahead and make a ledger over here. So I'm going to put a ledger over here. Again, it could have been a T account or it could have been in ledger format. I'm going to make it in ledger format. So in this case, 100 cash. This is my first ledger account. And so it's going to have, so the whole box here is your cash account. And so we've got a date, a description, which you usually only use if it's a beginning balance. And then what we did to the account goes in these first two columns. In this case, we credited it, so we'll be putting it there. And then we've got our running balance over here. So these last two are your balance. So let's just say that we started off with a balance from last month of $500,000. And then let's go ahead and make our other ledger account. We're going to need an asset of truck. So we'll make a $300 truck here. And then it'll look the same as far as this goes. So we'll do date, description, debit credit, and then the balance for debit credit. And we'll put a box around it so you can see this is our whole account. Alright. Now, I'm ready to post my journal entry to my ledger. So I'm going to start up here. I'm going to say truck got debited for $100,000. So I look for my truck account right here. It happened on 1/1. And I don't put a description because this isn't a beginning balance. This is just a transaction. And what did I do up here in the journal entry? I debited it. Then what is my new balance? Well, I started with nothing in this truck account and I added a debit of $100,000. So now my balance is $100,000. And so then, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot my post-ref column in here. Let me add that. So my post-ref column would have gone right here. There we go. Okay, and so what I do here is I say, where did this come from? Well, it came from journal let's say this is page 1. So I can either put a 1 here or a J1, whatever your book tells you to do. Each book is different. Because this journal entry came from page 1. And then up here I say, where did I bring that to? Well, I brought that to account number, right here, 300. So what I've done is I've said that I have posted this journal entry to 300, and then on 300 I said it came from page 1. So let's do cash next. We need to post cash next. So I credited cash for 100,000. So I look for my cash account. Here it is. I say on 1/1 I credited cash for $100,000. So what is my new balance? Well, when you have a debit and a credit, they're different, so you subtract. So it's 500,000 minus 100,000. It still stays on the debit side because the debit is still the larger side. So it's 500,000 minus 100,000, which is 400,000. That's my new balance. All right, let's do the post-ref. So this came from journal page 1. Up here, this went to account number 100. So hopefully that will answer the question of what is the difference between a journal and a ledger, and how do you use the post-ref columns on both the journal and the ledger. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.